Welcome back to another video. My name's Rick and my aim is to help you realize the truth that feeling great is your natural state. So today I want to take some time to talk to you about a book that I've just finished, which I think is, well, a fantastically powerful book, and one which, when applied to your own life, can definitely change absolutely everything about your life and beyond. And without further ado, the book today is Atomic Habits. It's probably the wrong way around, but Atomic Habits by James Clear. So I've talked about habits a couple of times in passing in recent videos, but I'd like to focus a bit more in depth on what they are and how you can manipulate them in this video today. So let's get stuck straight in. First of all, to begin with, what a habit is, by definition, it's a routine or a practice which we perform regularly. It's an automatic response to a specific situation or cue or trigger. So a habit can be broken down into four main components, and keeping it really simple, we'll just stick with the four. So you've got a cue, which is obviously the trigger, something which initiates the cascade of events which goes on to form the habit. You've got the craving, which is obviously initiated by the cue. So the cue goes to a craving. The craving, it's in your mind, you're thinking about it. The craving goes to a response, i.e. you give in to the habit, you indulge, you have that donut, you have that cigarette, you pour that bottle of beer, whatever. And then the fourth step is the reward. So the reward is the satisfaction in indulging in the habit, or dissatisfaction, depending on what it is or how it turned out. So four main steps: cue, craving, response, reward. Anyway, habits, as I'm sure you know, can be good or bad. It depends on, well, your own perspective, really. And if a sign that a habit is usually bad is one where you find you're hiding it from the outside world and everybody else because you're ultimately ashamed by it. Now, the first part of what I said there is hiding it from the rest of the world. Immediately something like Batman or Superman or the Power Rangers or any form of superhero comes to mind. In fact, I don't know why I didn't mention Marvel. Tony Stark is the opposite of that. Okay, fine, Marvel. Okay, we'll not go with that. Anyway, the point is, if you find you're having to cover it up or hide it from the rest of the world, or you're feeling bad after indulging in it, chances are it's probably a bad habit. So in this book, there's a lot of really useful, powerful exercises, and I couldn't possibly hope to give justice to all of them today, but one in particular is, I don't know why I'm holding this book at this point because I'm not actually using that page. So one fantastic exercise is called, well, it's not really called anything in particular, but it's a habit scorecard. You're basically taking stock or inventory of all of your current habits. So what the author, James Clear, what he recommends doing is you analyze your day, any typical given day, and have a pen and paper and write down all of your habits. And it can be everything from turning the light switch on when you go into the kitchen in the morning, or washing your hands as soon as you step into the bathroom, things like that there. So really analyze the day, break it down, get everything out there on paper, and then start categorizing each and every habit. And by categorizing, I basically mean, are they good? Are they neutral? Or are they bad? And the way you categorize it is anything you deem to be a good habit, put a number 1. Sorry, no, don't do that, no. Put a plus sign. Put a plus sign beside that habit. Anything that is neutral, put an equals sign. So just the two horizontal lines, an equals sign beside that habit or those habits. And then for any of the bad habits, put just a little minus, like a little minus or hyphen sign beside those habits. That way you've taken stock and you become aware of them. It's very much a qualitative assessment. So it's not a quantitative score, i.e. you're not recording numbers per se, but you're basically taking stock of the habits that you currently have, seeing what's good, seeing what's neutral, seeing what's bad. So now you've got that all down on paper. See what's good, see what's bad. It's kind of like looking at your bank statement at the end of a month, at the end of any month. You can find things which you can maybe cut out, save some money, boost your financial well-being. You can do the same thing with your habits as well. So anything you see to be bad or negative, consider cutting it out. That's one approach you can take. If for whatever reason you can't cut it out, what you can do is you can do what's called habit stacking. Now, habit stacking, there's any number of ways to do this. It's basically where it's like pancake stacking. You put one pancake on top of the other. Pancakes. Anyway, no, the point is you can stack habits, good habits on bad habits on good habits, a good habit on a good habit, a neutral habit on a good habit, or a good habit on a neutral habit. It's up to you to decide what way you want to stack them, but it's all about efficiency and, well, maximizing your time for one thing, and also incorporating new habits into your routine. So, let me see. Some examples of habit stacking are, and I'm just going to read a couple from the book actually. So, if you want to add meditation into your day, if you want to make that a habit, what you could do is, and I'm quoting from the book now, after I pour my cup of coffee each morning, I will meditate for 1 minute. So, the current habit is he pours his coffee. The habit he wants to build is meditation. So, he's going to stack them together. I've done something quite similar recently, since I've been reading this book over the last few weeks, and that is whenever I'm boiling the kettle for my morning brew, it takes maybe about a minute and a half to do that. I do my morning stretch routine. So I'm just stretching all my muscles, top to bottom, bottom to top. And by the time I finish, or by the time the kettle's finished, I'm basically finished that. Then pour the tea or coffee or whatever it is I'm having. And then I let it sit for about 5 minutes just to cool down a little bit. And while that's sitting, I pick 1 to 2 exercises and do 3 to 4 sets of those at a high intensity. Excuse me. So that could be something as simple as doing 3 to 4 sets of push-ups while the tea or coffee is cooling, or maybe doing 3 to 4 sets of pull-ups or chin-ups, on my pull-up bar on the door frame, or I might do some kettlebell swings or hand grip exercises, do them back to back. My structure changes each day because it's not about doing a full workout, but it's about doing something, but doing it well as well. And it really does maximize efficiency of time. So you're really not wasting any time, which you could have spent maybe just scrolling through Facebook on your phone. So from that perspective, it is very, very, very powerful. But like anything, the more you do it, the more likely it is to become a habit. And that's my next point. Well, actually, before I even go on to the next point, I'll give you a couple more examples of what the author has given in his book. So, okay, he talks about exercise here. So after I take off my work shoes, I will immediately change into my workout clothes. So basically, when he gets home from work, he changes into his workout clothes. That way he has primed himself to exercise, to basically start the routine that he wants to become a habit. The third one is gratitude. After I sit down to dinner, I will say one thing I'm grateful for that happened today. So gratitude, I've talked about that before. Very, very, very powerful exercise. Gratitude makes you take stock of what you have in your life, what you have to be thankful for. The more thankfulness or gratitude you exude towards it, the more of that you attract, and the better you feel, the more you attract, the happier you get. It's a whole positive feedback loop. Marriage. After I get into bed at night, I will give my partner a kiss. That's nice. Currently, my partner is a pillow, so I'll probably cut that. Safety. After I put on my running shoes, I will text a friend or family member where I am running and how long it will take. That's very sensible, yeah. Anyway, you get the point. So, stacking. You can stack it any number of ways you want. Good on good habit, bad on good. Well, no, you wouldn't put a bad habit on a good habit. You'd attach a good habit to a bad habit if you couldn't cut the bad habit out. But the point is, you're wanting to maximize the efficiency of your time, but also maximize the chances of actually integrating the habit into your life that you're wanting to integrate. So, lastly, well, a couple of other points as well. In order to form a new habit, it's not the time that you've begun the habit that matters per se, if that makes sense. It's the frequency that you do it. So, for instance, to give you an example, if you exercise once a week, every week for a year, that's 52 sessions. If you exercise 7 times a week or 7 days a week for a full year, that's 7 times that, which is like 364. something like that. Anyway, whenever you're doing it 7 days a week, it's much more likely to become a habit much quicker, because you're basically reactivating or triggering the nervous pathways, or the pathways within your brain which form the habit. And the more you do the activity, the more those pathways fire and wire, the deeper those grooves in your brain form, and the stronger and faster the connections form, which basically form the basis of the habit. So in order to make a habit, it's frequency, how often you do it, rather than the time from when you started it to where you are now, if that makes sense. Hopefully I explained that well enough. Anyway, and then finally, it's a compounding effect. You don't want to go from 0 to 100 too quickly, because, well, an example of that is people who go on crash diets to lose weight, burn fat really, really, really quickly. If they lose a lot of weight really quickly, the chances are they haven't actually made long-term changes which facilitated or established the weight loss. So what I'm saying is, it's not sustainable. It's not a firm base. It's not a firm foundation. It hasn't become a habit. They haven't actually made a habits which will last the test of time. It's better to do it in a slower, more controlled way, whatever habit it is you're trying to build. Be it meditation, for instance. Don't try and do 15 minutes meditation right off the bat, because chances are you'll get scundered and get fed up before you know it. Then you've given up. Same with the gym. Don't try and go 7 days a week right off the bat. In fact, in the book, James Clear, he suggested going to the gym just for 1 minute. I'm not joking. 1 minute. Do whatever you can do for 1 minute. Whatever you can do, I guess. Go and do some stretches, or get a drink of water from the fountain. I don't know. And the point is, he says that's creating the expectation of going to the gym. That's creating the habit of actually getting up and going to the gym, and getting accustomed to being inside the gym. Then the following week we can build up to 2 minutes, then 4 minutes, and then you can increase it more and more and more each day, each week. The point is, it's baby steps, and it's a compounding effect. In fact, it's kind of like the power of compounding can be seen in. There was a great example. I read it in Tony Robbins' book, Money Mastered the Game. It was if you got a penny and you doubled it every day for a month, it turned into, don't quote me on this, but I think it's something like £17 million or $17 million, 17 million, whatever currency you have. But it's only in the last 10 days or so when the compounding really does take effect. It's absolutely fantastic. Anyway, I know that's a lot of information today. Hopefully you gleaned some form of value from that, and or from everything I said today. And as always, please feel free to comment away in the comment section below. And again, as always, thanks for watching. All the best, and take care.